Hi guys, Tablet-News.com, and I'm here with the review of the Samsung Galaxy Gear, the famous smartwatch from Samsung that you can actually not use if you don't have a Galaxy Note 3, Galaxy S4, and soon with some updates Galaxy S3 and Note 2. This is the first Samsung smartwatch. It was shown at IFA 2013, the beginning of September, and the price tag is $299 for this watch. It only works in tandem with the Galaxy S4 and Note 3 for now, soon with the Note 2 and S3. Okay, so the design is a pretty nice one. We got a nice construction here. We got a front made of stainless steel metal and glass, obviously for the screen. We got these nice screws here for a more industrial looking. And then we got a bunch of back pins for the charging. We connect this device to a cradle that's bundled with the smartwatch. Let's see how we can get it open. And you can see that the pins fit with the pins here. Place it like this, and then you connect the micro USB cable here, and then the charging starts, and then everyone is happy. Okay, back to the design. We have a single on-off button on the side, single physical button available right here. And this button you can actually double press to trigger the voice feature, but more about that just a little bit later. Okay, so we've got a speaker here on the metal side, on the metal lock of the device. We got this rubber band holding everything into place. This is rubber. We got a 1.9 megapixel camera here with BSI sensor, and from what I know we have a microphone over here and one over here. Hope you can see it. So mic here and mic here, and I'm guessing this one is a mic too. I'm probably mistaking about at least one of the mics, since there should be two on board. This is a pretty big device, but it's a premium one. We got an adjustable lock. You can see here we have a bunch of holes to punch and make this watch belt larger or smaller depending on the size of your wrist. Speaking of size, this watch measures 11.1 millimeters in thickness, and it weighs 73.8 grams. This is the locking mechanism that I'm trying to work right now. Okay, here it goes. 11.1 millimeters in thickness, 73.8 grams in weight, and a design that I like, but opinions have been divided in the press area. Now, as far as the hardware is concerned, this device offers an Exynos CPU, 800 MHz processor. In the background we got Android 4.2.2. This display is a Super AMOLED 1.63 incher with a resolution of 320 over 320 pixels. And other features here include a 1.9 megapixel camera with BSI, 720p video capture. We got Bluetooth 4.0, an accelerometer, gyroscope, 4 gigs of storage, and 512 megabytes of RAM. There's also a 315 mAh battery inside, good enough in our tests for about 1.5 days or maybe 2 days of functioning, which is actually pretty impressive for a smartwatch. And the charging is done with the cradle that you saw earlier. And now I want to talk just a little bit about the display. This is a screen that's very bright, even in full sunlight. These are the settings. The brightness can be tweaked up to 5, and then there's a special outdoor mode that works excellently. There's also an option for the screen timeout, the home background color, font size, and battery percentage that can or cannot be shown using this screen. Once again, pretty impressive screen, good viewing angles, good sunlight behavior, and I actually want to show you some stuff from the gallery so you can get convinced that this screen is actually good. These are captures taken with the camera on this watch, and they don't look half bad. Good color quality. This is a Super AMOLED screen after all. That was a sound and shot, and you'll hear more about that just a little bit later. Okay, so I'm going to talk about the camera just a little bit. So we're dealing with a 1.9 megapixel camera that can take either 4 to 3 pictures with a resolution of 1280 over 960 pixels. So let's actually access the camera. You can either do it from the app section, where you can find the camera here, or you can do it straight from the home screen with a simple gesture like this. Okay, now we're in the camera area, and as you can see, it's pretty hard to take pictures because you don't actually see what you're photographing. So as I said, this camera takes 4 to 3 pictures in an aspect of 1280 over 960 pixels, or 1:1 aspect in 1392 over 1392 pixel resolutions. It also takes 720p videos. Now I switch to video, and this is the settings available for the video capture. Moving on, these are the settings of the photo capture. We can also have a macro option, and then the photo size options. We also have sound and shot available, on or off, and the signatures to let people know that you've just used your Galaxy Gear. The pictures are surprisingly good. You saw some earlier, but let's see them on the bigger screen. I transferred them on the Galaxy Note 3, and they're pretty impressive. Okay, so these are the Galaxy Gear shots. Here we go. Pictures taken in a park with the Galaxy Gear, bright roses here, a fountain, some grass. This was the sound and shot picture. So you can also take sound and shot pics if you want to. This is an attempt at a macro. Remember, this is a picture taken with the camera of a watch, which makes it all the more impressive. Overall, I'm pretty happy with this camera. And the only bad thing about it is that you cannot see the subject of the picture you're taking. And I'm happy we have a macro mode, and I'm happy that you can transfer them to the Note. However, I'm not happy with the way you can perform the transfer. So let's go to the gallery. You see that it's a pain. I enter a picture, I press the options here, and I can transfer them like this straight to the Galaxy Note. And I have to do that for each and every picture or video. Okay, so overall this camera is about the same level as the camera you can find at the front of a smartphone if you want the comparison, and overall it's pretty decent. By the way, you can only capture 15 seconds of video using the camera on this smartwatch. Now, before I want to talk to you about the UI, I'm going to tweak down the brightness just a little bit. Seems a bit overkill. Okay, so let's address the UI. Straight from the start, this is the home screen, this is the watch, the main screen of the device. You swipe to the side for the options, left and right swipe, and usually if you swipe down you go back to the previous options, but if you're in the home screen, a swipe down means camera. If you swipe up on the home screen, you can access the phone dial and start dialing and calling people. This is a simple UI in black and white, and once again, if you swipe down equals you go back. This is the back button of the device, a swipe to the bottom. You can change the home screen from the Note 3. So the Note 3 comes with an app called Galaxy Gear Manager, and we got the option called clocks. This one will change the home screen of your watch in real time, and I actually downloaded this separate app. It's called Pattern Digital. There's this one, Watch Styler. You can even display some shortcuts or the weather like this, but I'm going to stick to this trendy little thing. Okay, now I'm going to take the options from the smartwatch one by one. So first of all, the notifications, they pretty much speak for themselves. If you don't have recent ones, you go to your archive. You see we have notifications for Twitter. You can actually view a timeline from here, see what people have been saying, or recent mentions. Takes a long while. First it has to sync with the handset, then it has to sync with the web. That's why it's taking so long. You can also view mentions and direct messages, but it's loading for too long. You can also view notifications from your Gmail, but it will probably recommend that you return to your bigger device. Okay, other things from here, you can see that it sent me straight to the Gmail screen, which is pretty cool. Then there's S-Voice, Call Alex, Mobile, if I had the SIM inside the device, it would make a call. You can also text people if you want. So, and there is a variety of other things to say here, like read dial, read a message, text Katie. You can also add an event to your schedule, create a task, show task, open camera, announce voice memo, show an alarm, create a timer, and weather forecast. Today's weather. So that's pretty much what the Ace Voice does. It's one of the coolest features of this device. Then there's voice memo. The cool thing here is that if you start talking to it and then you want to play back one of your voice memos,
remember to pick up the milk. Remember.
And as you can see, it has been turned into text, and I didn't even try to exercise a correct accent, so that's pretty cool. And then we've got the gallery that you already saw. Then we got a media controller. Basically, it's a controller for the media playback on your Galaxy Note. And you can turn up the volume. Keep in mind, the Note is playing the song, not the watch. And then you can stop it and move forward. And after the media control, you can find the pedometer. You see here just how many steps I've taken, how many calories. We have a program to walk faster, a beginner course. There is also the user profile with your weight, gender, and the miles you have gone, and many other options that will be sent straight to your S Health application from your handset. You have here the goals, you can reset the steps, send to S Health as I said, user profile, and the option to reset everything and go back to 0. Then there is the settings area with a huge amount of settings for the clock, for the sound, notifications, preferred arm, volume, display, and even battery, Bluetooth, privacy lock, gear reset, and gear information. Okay, then there's the app section with all the apps that you have installed, and finally the log section where you can see your recent calls, texts, and things like that. And finally, one last section is the contact section where you can actually see people and their phone numbers, and you can start calling them straight from there. Okay, so now let's talk just a little bit about the apps available on this device. Go back to that list. Okay, so among the apps we can find here the archive, and let's see what other apps we have available. So the archive is basically your last notifications and stuff like that. We also have Facebook Quick View. You can see your notifications, friend requests, and messages in a small screen, and then you can find your device. This is the Find My Device option, and if you press start, the Note gets annoying. And you can also select Find My Device from the Note if you've lost your watch somewhere. And there's the predictable option of a stopwatch. That's pretty self-explanatory. Then there's a timer if you really need to time stuff. There's today's schedule with no event for now. There's a tweet quick view. Connection has been established with the phone, and yet again we're trying to see the timeline here. As I said, sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. There are two connections at play here, maybe three even. One with the watch and the device, the second between the device and the network, and the third between the Wi-Fi router and the Galaxy Note 3. Okay, that was the tweet quick view, and there is also the pedometer as voice, Find My Device, logs, media controller. You basically know most of them, plus some of the apps that we installed here. Now we move to the Galaxy Note 3 and to the gear manager. Here we have a bunch of settings to tweak, a lot of them actually. There is the auto lock that's available here, the notification options for a variety of apps that will or will not be shown on the screen. This is what happens if you double press the power key on the device. Usually it's S voice, but you can change it to something else, some other app. Safety assistance available as well. Smart relay, well basically this is the gesture that activates the phone just by picking it up and looking at it. If you hold it at your wrist and look at it like this, it will start up. And that's the wake up gesture, excuse me. The smart relay is shown right here. If you want to view content from your gear in detail on your mobile, you pick up the mobile device when you receive the notification alerts. So the wake up gesture is this one. So pretend it's on your wrist, move it like this and the screen will be activated. Then a bunch of other settings applied to a variety of apps. Each app and each feature comes with its own bunch of settings. So there's a lot of transfer happening here. You can see that the camera has auto transfer available. Facebook with its own options, pedometer with its own options, a lot of options to play with here. Okay, so you can also enter a special Samsung apps section. All of these apps are meant for your smartwatch. There's not many of them, but after all the device has just been launched for a few weeks. And the apps are basically based on fitness, social networking, even some games, tools, customization of the home screen on the smartwatch and things like that. Of course we have Evernote, we have eBay, and some of the apps that we installed are actually pretty cool. Okay, let's go to the app section, see those apps I was bragging about. One of them is the Cam Dictionary. As the name says, you point this towards a word and it will translate it instantly. There are no words to show for now. Then there is a dice app, so even a little game can fit here. You can choose 2 dice and move the device to roll the dice. Pretty useless app, but if you want to have fun with a game on the watch, this has got to be one of the first games to download. We got eBay, letting you know you have been outbid by some other guy, Facebook, and an app called Radio On. This one will also require your Note to be connected to the same app. You turn the radio on. You change the station. Anyway, you get the idea. And other apps that we got available here, as I said, Evernote, eBay, Cam Dictionary, Radio, and a bunch of more apps that you can download from Samsung apps. There is a Path app, there is a 360-degree camera app here, there is a Zeit app, and a huge variety that I'll let you discover for yourselves. By the way, as I said, if you double tap the only physical button here, you can trigger the S voice or some other application that you can associate to it. It's time for the big conclusions. I don't want to bore you with this review. So this is a premium accessory, a deluxe accessory if you want to, especially with a price tag of $299. The pros here are the battery. You can even reach 2 days of usage. I like the design. It's a question of taste, frankly speaking. Some people may like the design, some people may hate the design. It's an interesting combo between stainless steel, between glass, between rubber and plastic. And S-Voice comes in handy here, in spite of having just a little bit of lag. I like the notification. The camera was a huge surprise. I wasn't expecting anything good in the camera department. And the screen is very bright. It has very good viewing angles. And as I said, I'm very impressed by the camera, although you can only film for 15 seconds. On the bad side, the price tag, the black and white user interface are bad things. The fact that you have to depend on the Note or Galaxy S, it's a bad thing. And the fact that you must transfer one picture at a time is maybe a bummer. Also a bummer is the fact you can only film for 15 seconds. Finally, let's give this device a grade. My grade for the Galaxy Gear is 9.5 out of 10. It's a subjective grade because I like the design, the industrial design at the front especially. On the hardware side, an 8 out of 10. On the operating system and UI side, a 7, because this interface feels just a little bit dated. The final grade is 8.16 out of 10, and I will deduct 1.16 points for the huge price and the addiction of using a phone together with the watch. So the final grade is 7 out of 10 for the Galaxy Gear smartwatch. that you'll usually pair with your Note 3 or Galaxy S4 for now. That's it from Tablet-News.com. Bye bye.